This is why tigers cannot survive in Africa. The mighty tiger has ruled over the Asian continent for at least a few million years. A large, fierce, and cunning predator with a deadly arsenal of weaponry, few animals have a prayer against what some call the true king of the jungle. Which begs the question, could this all-conquering kitty expand its empire into the wildlands of Africa, a land filled with its own mighty hunters? Well, let's talk about it. Where do tigers live? Today, tigers have a greatly diminished range than they did in their heyday. Human activity and expansion have led to massive habitat loss and mass killings of the once plentiful cats. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, lists the tiger as endangered, with fewer than 5,000 individuals left in the wild. Tigers are mainly found in India, China, Siberia, and throughout Southeast Asia. They are pretty much extinct in the wilds of Central Asia and the Middle East. They live in a wide range of habitats, including dense evergreen forests, deciduous woodlands, swamps, semi-open grasslands, and even mountains. Tigers have also been found in very arid areas, but generally like to live near water. Vegetation is the perfect backdrop for the tiger's shadowy stripe pattern. These massive cats have mastered the art of blending in and subtlety to a frightening degree. You may even have a tough time spotting a captive tiger in a zoo enclosure. They are that sneaky. Water is also key to a tiger's survival. In addition to drinking water, the tiger relies on rivers and lakes to attract potential prey looking to quench a bit of thirst. Tigers are also excellent swimmers and frequently dive in to pursue prey, cool off, or simply goof off. They also love catching fish and crabs, which are tidy snacks. Another thing the great Asian continent provides, at least before the aforementioned human expansion, is vast land area. Tigers are solitary creatures with huge requirements that can only be met properly in large territory. Female tigers can have territories as large as 20 square kilometers, while males can be up to 100 square kilometers. The bigger the territory, the more likely it is to have rich pickings. Tigers eat anything they can overpower, which is a rather extensive list. Deer, pigs, monkeys, birds, fish, gaur, buffalo, crocodiles, as well as elephant and rhinoceros calves are all potential victims. Human predation, though rare, is a real thing. Between 50 and 60 people lose their lives to tiger attacks each year. The picture in Africa. Africa is a rich and diverse continent with varying climates, environments, and ecosystems. There are deserts, mountain ranges, valleys, open savannas, rainforests, swamps, and everything in between. Here, all manner of reptiles, amphibians, insects, and mammals have evolved over millions of years. As far as big predators, Africa has the most of all the continents, and arguably the meanest. Jackals, wild dogs, servals, carousels, honey badgers, cheetahs, leopards, and hyenas are all distributed throughout sub-Saharan Africa. However, all of these meat lovers must bow before the sheer awesome power of the African lion. Tigers are no strangers to lions, but the African lion is larger and more ferocious than its Asiatic cousin. Lions are the apex hunters of the land, laying constant assault on Africa's big game. In the water, another popular tiger abode, the fearsome Nile crocodile lurks menacingly. Nile crocs are the deadliest crocodilians in the world, killing more people than other crocodile species and alligators combined. In fact, not even the lion and tiger can match the Nile crocodile's man-eating rap sheet. The ancient lizards are the second biggest killer of humans in Africa, behind the malaria-causing mosquito. For there to be so many deadly predators, the land has to have rich hunting potential, and Africa certainly does. For a big predator, the choice ranges from buffalo, zebra, wildebeest, and dozens of antelope species. There are also smaller animals like baboons, chimpanzees, anteaters, pigs, hares, and wildfowl. You can even go smaller and snack on frogs, birds, lizards, snakes, and rodents. Human livestock is also a potential meal, but that often attracts vengeful humans. Cattle, goats, chickens, and sheep are the most common livestock, while pets like domestic dogs and cats are in no short supply. Of course, like Asia, Africa is also in the midst of an unprecedented human expansion. Numerous big predator species and subspecies have gone extinct or are teetering on the brink. The Atlas lion and Cape lion were the 20th century victims of lion and farmer conflicts over land, and many other animals are in a similar jam. Why can't tigers survive in Africa? We need to start off by saying that individual tigers may be able to live and thrive in Africa, but only in special circumstances. For example, if we were to drop a wild tiger in the forests of the Congo or the Serengeti, it could realistically find its footing and tackle the local prey with ease. However, as a species, tigers would find it extremely difficult to live, breed, and regenerate in Africa as things stand. The first reason is competition. There are many big hunters in Africa, and each of them is finely tuned for their home ranges. Lions are likely to be the tiger's chief competition. These big cats use their bulk and collaborative skills to subdue the land and rule as kings. Tigers may be bigger and stronger than lions, but their inability to make friends would be a fatal weakness against the king of beasts. A lion pride can kill a solitary tiger and constantly steal its kills. Another animal that would provide the same, if not more competition, is the spotted hyena, Africa's most common big land predator. Ruthless and relentless, the hyena is a monstrous hunter and an even more monstrous predator. These killers often live in groupings called clans, and a clan may have 30 individuals or more. Even a tiger couldn't fight off such numbers, and the striped cat may find itself driven off many kills. The tiger's problem here is that it is a solitary apex predator. Apex predators are animals that sit at the top of the food chain and are generally at little risk of being outmuscled by other hunters. Tigers often gorge for hours at a time to consume the great quantities of meat they need to thrive. In Africa, though, few animals have the luxury of feasting alone. If you want to be an apex predator, you best form a pride or a clan. Solitary hunters like cheetahs and leopards have special adaptations to offset their lack of backup. The cheetah has much lower caloric needs than other big cats, which means it can eat its fill before it almost inevitably gets relieved of its kills by lions or hyenas. The leopard, on the other hand, can hoist kills more than twice its own body weight straight up into the trees and away from thieving jaws. The tiger has neither adaptation, but has the vulnerability of a loner. Next, we have the different prey animals that the tiger will have to hunt. Big animals like zebra, wildebeest, and gazelle demand greater straight-line speed and agility to catch, and especially big animals like Cape buffaloes and elephants are part of formidable herds that require a group effort. A tiger could catch the odd juvenile, but even that is dangerous, as the mothers are more than a little protective. Then we have the potential for compromised camouflage. The tiger should be fine in woodland areas, but it would be greatly exposed in open grassland. Prey animals have already evolved to be on the lookout for lions, which can blend in with the grass, so an even bigger lion-like creature with stripes is sure to send them scurrying long before the tiger can even stalk. The tiger's best bet would be to settle for a nocturnal life and sleep all day. This leads us to the problem of limited space. The dwindling wildlands of Africa simply have no space for expansive tiger territories, much less for tiger territories that do not coincide with other big predators. Given the relatively exposed nature of tiger dens, it would be virtually impossible for tiger cubs to reach adulthood. Despite the protection of prides and clans, lion and hyena clubs face a tough road to maturity because of the sheer number of marauding killers. Lions, hyenas, leopards, jackals, cheetahs, pythons, or wild dogs would not even hesitate to kill tiger cubs on sight. Even herbivores like giraffes, buffalo, hippos, elephants, rhinos, and eland would stomp and gore young predators if given the chance. One of the few zones that could support tigers, at least for a generation or two, would be the rainforests of Central and Eastern Africa. The rainforests have relatively fewer big predators than the grasslands and sparse woodlands. There are also good populations of prey animals like chimpanzees, bonobos, and small forest antelope. The dense vegetation would provide ample cover for the elusive hunter. The only problem with Africa's rainforests is that they are a very delicate ecosystem. The tiger could easily become an invasive species that threatens the survival of animal populations already under pressure. Gorillas are a notable example, as they would be relatively easy pickings for tigers. Given the gorilla's slow rate of reproduction and the tiger's food demands, introducing the latter could wipe out the former much sooner than anyone could predict. Tigers in Africa would also be way too alluring for hunters and poachers. The tiger is among the most hunted wild predators on Earth, be it for its glorious coat, collectible teeth, or medicinal body parts. In a nutshell, if the animals in Africa don't wipe the tiger out, the humans might. The tiger's coat and patterning would make it a sitting duck in most African environments. Human farmers are likely to have a particular interest in taking tigers out. Faced with insurmountable odds in the predator-infested wilds, tigers may resort to targeting farms and ranches for easy meals. Such attacks are guaranteed to spark retaliation, which would spell curtains for the big cat. Targeting humans would create an even bigger problem. If the tiger can somehow conquer the competition, the humans, and the evasive prey, there is still disease to contend with. There's no telling what exposure to bacteria and viruses from the new prey and neighbors could do to a tiger's system. Animals like hyenas are notorious germ factories, so a bite from them could spell disaster for a tiger that's fresh on the scene. Lastly, breeding difficulties are likely to occur. We've already spoken about how hard it would be for tiger cubs to grow up in Africa. However, what are the odds of two tigers from different families growing to adulthood, meeting each other, and mating, all without human intervention? Pretty slim, at best.